guys, welcome back for another episode. My name is Kate Bowman. I'm currently surrounded by absolute chaos and madness. I am getting ready for the neighborhood yard sale, which is coming at just the right time. I'm also having a snack. It is a glorious day when fruit comes into season, and the strawberries have been amazing. So I will probably undoubtedly talk through most of this segment with strawberry seeds in my teeth because it always seems to happen. If you have been following along for the last several months, you know that we are downsizing in a massive way because we are going tiny. We went out to Fresno, California in late April for a whirlwind 48-hour trip. We were checking out the tiny house, spent a little time there, actually a lot of time there. I will admit that right before we got to the building site, I was a little nervous. I was just really afraid that it was going to just be way too small and that we were going to be like, oh my gosh, what have we done? But I am happy to say that it was actually the complete opposite. When I stepped inside, it was actually just like super simple and very peaceful. Obviously, it's still a mess. It's a construction zone, but it definitely didn't feel too small. It felt very manageable and something that we can totally kind of step into. While we were there, we also went to a few stores with our builder, Jason, and we picked out those last few options that were kind of better suited for being in person. We figured a lot of stuff like via like video conference and stuff like that, but some things just kind of are better in person. And so we did our countertops, we picked out our flooring, and we also came up with some ideas for the tiling in the bathroom and some patterns and stuff like that that they are going to create for us. So I'm super excited about that. Last month, I also mentioned that we thought that we had finally found a spot to park our tiny. And I am excited to say that we will be moving back to North Carolina sometime in July. It's still up in the air at this point, but we are definitely heading back to North Carolina, which I'm super excited about. It took us just about a year to find our spot, which is absolutely crazy. The rules and regulations for tiny house living they're endless. There are just a bazillion of them, and most of them are silly, if I do say so myself. Over the last several months, my husband and I have been disturbed, frustrated. I don't know what the exact right word is for what it has been, but I guess maybe alarmed. We have found through this journey that it is easier to go out and buy a huge, thousands of square foot parcel of land, totally knock down the trees, kind of ruin the land and develop it. It is easier to do that than it is to find a spot to park a 320 square foot house, which is bananas. But anyway, I guess that's a conversation for another day. But we are super excited and just totally thrilled that we will be landing in the Asheville area. We used to live on the eastern side of North Carolina in the Raleigh area, and so we are going west. We are headed more towards the mountains, and we're just really thrilled for this new adventure. But before we can head south, we have so many more things that we have to say goodbye to. If you've been following along with me over the last several months, you also know that we have been purging our stuff like crazy, but there's just still too much. There's just way too much to bring with us. At this point, I feel like it is totally safe to say that we are stuck in the messy middle of this new journey. As we get ready to downsize in a massive way, we are learning a few lessons. They have made this type A girl a little bananas, I cannot lie. But we are finding that, as we say goodbye to some of our bigger pieces of furniture, like, dressers, chests of drawer, things like that, all of a sudden there's a mess and there isn't necessarily a place to put it at this time. We are also finding that as we, get ready to move into such a small space, most of the furnishings that we currently have are no longer going to be practical for our new lifestyle. So this has created the need to buy new things, like new replacement things. And so that has also created a bit of a traffic jam, hence my office. Let me give you a little tour of my office now. No productive work is getting done in here. So this is stuff, thankfully. Most of this is going to the yard sale, but some of this is also some new storage type solutions that we are trying to create to take with us to the tiny house. So for someone who typically likes things neat and tidy and in a special little spot, like everything has a home, this has been a lot. I've cried a lot. I can't even pretend that I haven't done a lot of crying lately. So the yard sale is on Saturday, and so these are kind of like 11th hour items that need to be marked and ready to be put outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so that is done. It feels great to have that done. That went much faster than I thought it was going to. I always become paralyzed by making up a price for things because I'm not quite sure what people are willing to pay for items that I am ready to get rid of. So we shall see how it goes. But I think I am going to end this segment. I have a feeling that this vlog is going to be over a couple of days because for now, this is kind of what I had planned for today. So this is all finished, and now it is time to go and start getting things set up in the garage. Although honestly, that's probably not going to happen until tomorrow. So welcome back. It has been several days. I'm not even exactly sure how many days. I'm gonna have to look at the card to figure that out, but it's been a minute. So when I left you last, we were getting ready for the yard sale, and that has come and gone. I'm super excited that we were able to get rid of everything except for I think it was like one bin of stuff ended up having to go to Goodwill. But so this is what the office looks like now. It's still a little bit messy, but it is totally manageable. When it comes to our old furnishings, we have either sold or donated almost all of them, which makes me so happy. We are finally making progress, yet it still feels like, I swear, things multiply when we go to bed at night. I swear it. They have to. That has to be the explanation for this. So our last piece of furniture has come in today, and I am going to build it. Tiny house furniture can be a little bit tricky. Tiny house furniture tends to need to fulfill multiple purposes. So I'm super excited that we decided to go with a company called Home Reserves, and they make like sectionals and all kinds of really cool furniture. But the furniture that we have is really cool because it's sectional pieces, but on top of that, there is storage. I had wanted to be like 100% sure before we went and ordered all of it. So I ended up doing the sample piece. And so this right here is the sample piece. And I think it's called like the fabric is called like Maltese flax. And it's definitely light, but it's also really soft. But yet when you sit on it, it's nice and firm and comfy. But then there is an even cooler thing about this furniture. I need to put this down so I can show you. Let's see here. So if you take the cushions off like so, you can open this bottom piece here, and there is storage. See, here it is. And storage in a tiny house is gold. There's not a whole lot better than storage in a tiny house. So it's pretty deep. So we really haven't put anything in it as of yet. Even this type A planner understands that perhaps it would be a little early to start deciding what should go in there when we're still about a month and a half from our move. But anyway, so the two end pieces came by UPS yesterday. So I am going to put those together today, and we will have our completed couch. The cool thing about Home Reserves is you could literally, there's like all different kinds of combinations that you could make. We're just doing like a basic couch because that's all we're gonna have room for. So it's just the middle piece, which is the one I showed you, and then there's gonna be a left end and a right end, and voila. So that's what I'm gonna do. So each of the pieces of the couch comes in its own box. So this is the left piece. I'm gonna put that one together, and then I will do the right.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me.
All right, so I am making semi-decent progress with this couch. I've got the arm sort of covered, but actually not really. I'm gonna have to start over with that. I'm gonna have to lift it off and try again because it's not lining up right. This stuff came along pretty easily. So basically I have run out of patience for this project at this moment. So I'm going to take Jack out to potty. I might come back to it or I might end up waiting until later this afternoon. So I'll either meet you back up here or I will meet you in the kitchen because I'm thinking about a delicious cucumber salad. So it has been a little while. I took a break. I took Jack out to go potty, did the whole lunch thing. I was able to get the fabric on the cushions and onto like the armrest thing, but I don't have the cushions on enough. There's like the stuffing isn't going into the edges here and I just can't attach that to the bottom. And so I think the middle piece was much easier to do. I did that one all by myself. My husband did help me like get the cushions on a little bit more. His hands are stronger than mine, but so I think he's gonna have to help me with that again. So I'm just gonna be all done with the couch thing for today. So I'm gonna go down. I'm going to show you how to make the easiest cucumber salad. It's absolutely delicious. I think it takes me about 5, maybe 10 minutes at the absolute most to make. It makes for a wonderful side dish and it's very refreshing on a hot summer night. All right, so I am going to make this super fast cucumber salad. I'm not exactly sure whose recipe it is. I've looked it up online to see if like I could, find who it is to give proper credit, but I can't, and it's delicious and it's easy and it's inexpensive. And right now with food prices and inflation just out of control, easy sides are a great way to kind of fill up your tummy, and this is healthy and just so delicious and so fast. It hits all the right spots. All right, so this recipe only has a few simple ingredients. I like to always use an extra light tasting olive oil. Otherwise, the taste will just be too strong. And then some onion and garlic powder, some dill, of course, and some vinegar and a little bit of sugar. And that's really it. I would say that the only thing to keep in mind with this recipe is this is a recipe where you wouldn't want to make it and then eat it the next day. This is kind of a thing where you'd probably make it like maybe 2 or 3 hours before you want to eat it and then just gobble it right on up because the cucumbers will kind of start to pickle. And sometimes the olive oil, sugar, vinegar combination can get a little gelatinous, which is kind of gross. It is a side that is best eaten on the same day that you make it. So it would be awesome to like take to a picnic or whatnot. And I am getting texts. And it's from my mother-in-law. You know what? I'm gonna just take one quick little second and show you. She is going to help me. Very cloudy. This is our IKEA table, and we are going to take this with us to the tiny house. I will admit that when we were at IKEA and I saw it in person, I was not particularly excited about it. It's very light wood, and I think eventually I will end up probably staining it, but I'm actually in love with it. I also was not excited about the stools, but they're actually very comfortable. And then I love all of these little drawers because, as I was saying before, storage is everything in our tiny house. So we just kind of keep our supplements in here, which means they are not on the table. I'm very excited about this table. It can break down. It's a convertible table. So most likely when we are in the tiny house, this leaf right here, this little piece right here will actually just be down all of the time. And since it's mostly going to be my husband and I, and then Connor with us occasionally, it should be perfect. And if worst came to worst, we could always just pull it out and get more people around it. But my mother-in-law is going to help me make some small placemats. I looked around online and I wasn't really able to find anything that was small, especially something that's small that I could then go and put into one of the drawers when we're not using it, because I don't like having stuff all over the place. So she's going to rescue me there because I can't sew to save my life. She has tried to teach me 100 times. She's very patient. She's a genius with a sewing machine. I just can't be taught. I just can't. It is not my gift. All right, but we will get back to these cucumbers right now.
I feel like I've been here before, familiar with the view. This ain't nothing new. And every time that you walk through the door, I'm hit by the same old tide, blinded by the light.
Okay, so that is it. That is how easy it is to make that cucumber salad. I know it's kind of sped up on camera, but it literally takes me probably 5 minutes to throw this together, and it's absolutely delicious. The one thing that I did forget to mention is a part of the ingredients list is some salt. I always just use a little bit of the Himalayan salt, and I will definitely link this recipe in the description box below. All right, since this video is all about the messy middle of going tiny, I thought that I would just take a second and show you how different our bedroom is looking now. It's a mess, but like our furniture that used to be over here is gone. Our furniture that was over here was gone. And then this IKEA bins that I put together the other day are kind of serving as some storage for us. Although I can honestly say that that is one of the huge struggles that I'm having right now, is kind of figuring out how we're going to do our clothes. I've been trying a few of the different baskets, and so I found these baskets at Target, and I feel like they're just a mess. Like even when I roll my clothes and stuff, then I started trying these baskets that I got at Kohl's, like, oh my gosh, probably a decade ago. And I've learned how to fold things the Marie Kondo style, but I'm finding that this still just isn't very efficient. So that is one of the things that kind of stresses me out, is what are we gonna do with all of our clothes? And then if you'll notice over here, excuse the pile of clothes on the floor, but this is real life right now. This is real life, and why I feel like I'm going to hyperventilate a large majority of the day. I don't like messes. But so when we got back from our visit to Fresno, we ended up, maybe we did it before, I don't remember. But anyway, what we ended up doing was we took the dimensions that we knew we were going to have, and we taped them onto the wall so that we would kind of start to get a little bit of an idea of what we were going to have to work with. And then also have been taping stuff onto the carpet so that we will be able to see, you know, just kind of how much space we would have. And I don't know if you tagged along with me on the video when I had set up that Helix Midnight Luxe mattress. Let me just say that I loved that mattress. That is the most comfortable mattress I have ever slept on in my entire life. Like, I would close my eyes and it would be morning, and that just doesn't happen. But the unfortunate piece with that is that that mattress, the profile was too high. And so if you look here, it's measure central around here all day, every day. But so this is where the Helix mattress was in comparison to our roof. And then this was where Connor's 10-inch mattress was in comparison to the roof. And so we ended up having to order an 8-inch mattress. So this is now an 8-inch mattress. And I ended up getting, it's hard as a rock, but that's okay. I ended up getting a cooling topper. So that's actually made it pretty comfortable. So that hasn't been all that big of a deal. And then I had also mentioned that I was struggling to find like a side table type solution. And so I ended up going with this right here. We just use these little baskets. I can keep my journals. I'm a big evening journaler. And then I also kind of keep, you know, just like some lotion and some lip balm and things like that. Kind of the stuff that once we get moved in and settled into the tiny house, you know, we're not gonna have a master bath off to the side of us. We're gonna have to crawl a little bit to go downstairs to use the bathroom downstairs. So I'm just trying to kind of start getting used to things a little bit on that front. So I'm going to wrap up this video for today. I might have my husband help me with the last piece of the couch and we might put it together, but I also think maybe no. Like, that might not happen. And if that is the case, then I will show you what it looks like in the next video. But we'll both be surprised tomorrow when I turn the camera on, and I'll let you know what we ended up doing. So I'm back sitting on the new couch. Yesterday afternoon, I just decided that I was gonna start putting it together, and my husband came home right around the time when we ended up getting the frame finished up. He offered to help me finish up the rest, and putting this thing together with two people made all the difference in the world. I think we had all of the fabric on the cushions and stuff in probably 5 to 10 minutes. It's awesome. It's super soft. It's super comfortable. We've got tons of storage. I mean, what more can you you ask for in a couch for a tiny house. We made an awesome choice and I couldn't be happier. Since it's 3 pieces and they're sectionals, we have chosen not to screw all of them together. A, because it doesn't fit in this little space that's right here as is. And then also we thought it would just make it easier on moving day to just put each of the sections in independently into the U-Haul. And then when we get settled in North Carolina, we will put it together and voila. So this has definitely been a challenging time as we transition from having a typical 3-bedroom home into soon a very small space. But even on the worst day, I know in every fiber of my being, I know deep in my bones that this is the path that we are supposed to take. I have been obsessed with tiny houses for years now. And so every time we have a chance to actually like see our tiny house when we talk to our builder or when I look around at some of the furnishings that we're gonna have in there, I just get so excited and I cannot wait to start this next chapter of our life. So I'm going to leave you here today and I will be back next month. Not exactly sure what I'm going to be talking about then, but I'm sure it's going to have something to do with our move because our move will be so close at that point. Thank you so much for spending a part of your day with me as I move through the messy middle of going tiny. I will see you again next month. Bye.